The story goes that a widow called Mrs. Murphy, her son and 5 daughters, all lived together in a house near Cooneen, County Fermanagh, in the early part of the 20th century. The family became plagued by a poltergeist shortly after Mrs. Murphy's husband died in a freak accident. Paranormal events started to occur in the house. It began with the occasional knocking of the front door, and when any family went to the front door, there was nobody there. The noises then became more frequent, with knocking on all the doors and windows. Above the house was a room used as a storage for hay. This room was only accessible by a stone staircase adjoined to the farmhouse, and in the room heavy footsteps were often heard, yet every time someone went to investigate, there was nobody in the room. The family decided to get friends and neighbours to come to the house and to listen to these strange noises for themselves. Mrs. Murphy, her children and some friends would sit in the kitchen listening to the banging on the doors and the windows, and then footsteps coming from upstairs. Unfortunately, things took a turn for the worst when more intense paranormal activities started to happen. Mrs. Murphy would watch as plates would lift off the table and fly across the room, smashing against the walls. The family would also watch in the bedroom as the bed would lift several inches off the ground all by itself and fall back down again. Things got so bad that Mrs. Murphy turned to the church for help. Father Coyle from Maguire's Bridge visited the house and watched for himself as mysterious shapes appeared and disappeared on the walls as he stood inside the house. Another witness to the events was the MP, Cahir Healy, who simply couldn't believe what he was seeing. Father Coyle was given permission for 2 exorcisms to be performed in the house. It is said that during the exorcisms, bed sheets would rise off the beds, cups and plates would fly across the room. The deafening groans could be heard coming from upstairs. Both exorcisms were among the very few exorcisms that have ever been carried out in Ireland. Unfortunately, they did not work, and the Murphy family continued to live in the house with the poltergeist. The Murphys were understandably terrified. They had hoped that the exorcisms might work, however the poltergeist activity in the house was getting worse. It is also said that friends and neighbours started to blame the Murphys for practicing witchcraft, therefore bringing this entity upon themselves. The Murphys decided to leave their home and set sail for America in 1913. Much to the horror of the Murphys, it seemed like the poltergeist had followed them on the boat to America. It is documented that other passengers complained about banging and rappings coming from the Murphys' cabin. The noises became so bad that the captain personally went to see Mrs. Murphy and told her to stop making noise.